Hello, I have a great guest that I found on social media and reached out to her because I thought her story was fascinating. She's very optimistic and she's always posting. And as I've gotten to talk to her on Facebook and through Messenger, and my wife Sarah has also gotten to talk to her, we found out her story is very interesting and totally fits with what's going on right now. Vivian Valenzuela, how are you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm doing amazing. Thank you for having me on.
No, we love having you on Brett Davis Unleashed. Nice to have you here. So we have a great panel with us today, and this will be totally up your alley. So you were you worked for St. Vincent de Paul, and what was the job description?
So I am the only employment specialist in the entire village, and we service thousands of homeless clients, people that are dealing with homelessness in all shapes and forms, like people that are actually living and sleeping on the sidewalk, people that are living in the shelter. And it's my job to get them motivated and encouraged and get them work so that we can find them housing.
Well, the one thing that I know that we talked about was some of the clients. Would you call them clients? What would you call them? Friends, clients? What would you call them?
we call them clients there. They're honestly like my children because I feel like it's my job to encourage them, get them motivated, and send them out into the world and hope that they can be self-sustaining.
So tell us your period of time that you worked there. How many people did you find that were homeless and were able to employ?
So I have a marketing background. I actually worked with scientists before I worked with people experiencing homelessness, doing sales and marketing and things like that. And that was super exciting, being a part of that. And I feel like I was called to work at St. Vincent de Paul, work with homeless clients. I've only been there 1 year. And in the 1 year that I've been there, I have actually was able to help 200 clients get jobs. And these are clients that I do a lot of outreach. So these are actually clients that are sleeping on the sidewalk. I took it upon myself to go out there and reach out to them and ask them if they're interested in working. And a lot of them really are. So I'm really proud. I feel like I've made a huge difference. A lot of the clients are out there still working. So, I mean, this makes it really worthwhile for me.
We know, considering weekends and holidays, it's like one person a day. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is not an easy job. I mean, when I started, my boss said, just sit down and start looking for jobs. And I did, but they're not going to come knocking on the door. They're not pounding my door looking for work. A lot of them are really afraid, discouraged. They don't feel that they can do it. So I had to actually go out to the streets and start encouraging them. And when they start getting their first paycheck, word gets around, and it's been super rewarding to see them actually working. I mean, it is the most amazing thing.
Yeah, that's wonderful what you were able to do. I don't think a lot of people know this, so I'm glad that you're here. But I have a quick question. From those 200 homeless people that you were able to get a job, how many of those were veterans?
I'm not sure. I personally don't really keep track. I could actually find out, but a lot of my clients are veterans. We actually have a veterans lunch that we have every Thursday. So a lot of the veterans that are living there or that have graduated and found their own housing and working have moved on. They still come back to encourage each other. So I meet with them once a week. A lot of them are retired. And I tell them, we either need to find you a job or find you volunteer work, because it's really important to keep busy. It gives them, a sense of self-pride and motivation. So we definitely have lots of veterans. I don't know the exact number offhand, but I'll find out and let you know.
Yeah, awesome. That would be wonderful. And also, besides getting them jobs, do they get any additional resource like counseling or anything like that? Because, a lot of them go through so much trauma. But do you know what else you guys, besides getting them a job, what else were they getting?
Yes, definitely. So at the Village, we actually have an on-site clinic. So anybody can come off the street and get medical care, dental care. We have clinicians that are working to counsel them. I just do my own personal counseling just to motivate them as far as it comes to career and things like that. And I think that's why I've been so successful, is because I really see that they can do it. I'm really there to motivate them and encourage them. And a lot of times if they feel like they can't do it, they'll come up to me and be discouraged, they'll be upset and they're like, I don't want to disappoint you. And I'm like, this is you. This is on you. You're doing it all on your own. I'm proud of you no matter what. Just the fact that a person is sleeping on the street, is coming up to my office just to even inquire about employment is a big deal. I mean, a lot of them are dealing with major issues, drugs, alcohol, depression, mental illness. So I'm just proud that they even come to talk to me. And then from there, getting them a job is a huge accomplishment.
So now let's turn the page, because what you do is very vital, by the way. We feel that it is.
Thank
here.
you.
I don't think I'd get a disagreement. Would you guys, girls?
Absolutely.
So tell us what happened to your job.
So I work with one of the most high-risk populations as far as healthcare, health-wise, especially with the coronavirus right now. So we've always been aware of making sure that we use safety precautions when dealing with all these clients that I'm dealing with out on the street. But with the coronavirus, it has been so dangerous for our population that we had to actually shut down our education department. So that was really hard for me, very heartbreaking. I think I cried for a couple days. I'm not going to lie. I really love what I do. I really love helping my clients. And just completely by surprise being, shutting down and not knowing what's going on with them, because a lot of them are still working. It's been very difficult. So I'm in the process of requesting to be able to work from home so that I can still check in on them, check with employers, encourage them. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. So this has been a huge shock for me. I'm sure it's affecting everybody, but I feel like, homeless clients, they are very, very, sensitive to this. This is very scary for them, more than I think than the normal person that has a home to go to.
I can tell you right now, everybody's scared.
Yeah.
Everybody's scared. So
yeah,
you have lost your job.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm hoping that when this is done, I'm able to go to work. But at this point, we just don't know, like a lot of people. So I'm just kind of in limbo and staying positive.
So we talked a little bit yesterday about that circumstance, and I always believe when one door closes, another one opens, and I also believe that when darkness happens, light and sunshine eventually will come through. This might be a great opportunity with all your connections with nonprofits to start your own small business.
Yeah, I've definitely been thinking about it because I'm working with other organizations. Actually, they've heard what a great job I'm doing, and they've requested me to come out. So I've worked with Jewish Family Services. There's people that are living in their cars that have they utilize the safe parking service. So I'm helping them find jobs. I've actually employed. I've only met with them twice and employed 5 men that are living in their car. And I have other nonprofits that are reaching out. So I've been thinking that I would love to work with all the nonprofits, not just one, to be able to help more people. I just at this point don't know how I'm going to have that happen, how it will materialize. So Brett, I think, is going to be an amazing, you're going to be an amazing outlet or reason for all of this happening. And
don't get us involved with this.
You are totally involved.
So, anybody have any questions? It's a great story. I think it's great. It's not great what happened to you, but I think you're going to be stronger and your skills are going to get sharper. And I do believe the nonprofits are going to need what you do because there are a lot of jobs that are going to be needed. The people that are currently working are unfortunately going to get sick. That's the reality of it. There's going to need to be a fill-in for those groups of people that do get sick that are working. The other thing is because of the demand of products and services, there's going to be a demand in that area too, I think. And I'll ask our expert what she thinks about that.
Oh, you're looking at me?
Of course.
Sorry.
That's the way we do it around here.
I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, I only took economics in college, but
tell her your background. Tell her what you do.
Well, I'm a CPA. I mean, I do have a minor in economics from but in finance.
Wow.
Dual minor actually. So you're welcome. But anyways, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's about like supply and demand. I mean, that's kind of just basic economic things, and so our demand right now for certain stuff is higher than what our supply is, and it's not so much that we don't have the supplies to make it, we just don't have the resources to make it fast enough. And so there's definitely going to be some need with people needing to be hired for those particular situations. But I actually do have a question though for you. I'm just curious, like, cause you mentioned about, this would be a good idea to possibly start my own job, business as far as getting, doing this kind of on your own. Like what are maybe one of the top, I guess not one of, what are some of maybe the top two or so obstacles or barriers that you seem to be facing that maybe are keeping you back from doing this?
I don't know. I mean, for me, I don't think anyone has ever worked with all the nonprofits to help them find, help their clients find employment. So for me, I just need to reach out. I have to figure out where to start, how to start it. And so I think that's going to be really my only barrier for now. But yes, there's definitely a lot of jobs. There's a lot of grocery stores that are overexhausted and need more employees. The healthcare needs volunteers. So there's a lot of opportunity right now.
I agree. So the thing is, I think you said, how do you start? I think you just jump in. I think what you need to do is
start making phone calls.
Start making writing your letter. Start writing your emails. Sending out. I mean, does anybody send letters anymore?
No,
not really.
Yeah, email. Brett, email. I know you're.
I personally think that it's good to be different because sometimes you get people's attention. You don't get lost in the shuffle. So maybe being creative, thinking outside the box. There is a demand, I think, for what you do. I can see there being a need for that. I think the opportunity is good with an unfortunate circumstances. So I would. Do you have your list of all the nonprofits in San Diego?
Yes.
Okay. You know the CEOs?
I believe so, yeah. Okay.
So I would craft something that's kind of generic, and I would just be able to switch the names out, and I'll let our marketing expert kind of cover that. What do you think? What would you do?
I wouldn't write letters, but I would definitely email people and stay in contact. Nowadays, using any LinkedIn, Facebook contact, because that's where people are right now. It may seem a little unprofessional, but at this rate where we're at, I think that's the best connection. Also, I would call them if you have their phone number or anything to reach them, and you're a little bit closer to some than others, and let them know what you're trying to do, and then themselves are going to start spreading the word as well.
So maybe what about sending out an email, and then following up with a phone call? I mean, that way we're not too surprised.
And not only that, but for those that maybe you do know, for some of the nonprofits where the top, the CEO, like Brett, or the person at the top. I mean, that you can always ask them, can you refer me to the other not-for-profit, like the person that I need to contact, and I guarantee you they're going to be more than happy to provide that information for you.
I do that. I actually do that.
That sounds great.
That's how I was able to grow my business, actually.
Yeah.
Tell her.
Yeah, and I think once I tell them what my numbers are, how I got 200 clients in a year, that just kind of speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
And it's not just numbers. Like, I'm excited about that, but it's like I'm so motivated, and I really, for me, it's I take this to heart. This is not just a job. It's not about numbers. It's about helping clients get work.
So you worked for this pharmaceutical company before, a little bit different
Yes.
situation.